Hello and welcome to another video from me, Rough Swordsman, Wargamer. It's an open the box and it's an unboxing of an expansion for a game that is quite popular, and it is Combat Volume 2, an expansion for Combat. Published by Compass Games and designed by Ross Mortell, developers Adam Starkweather and Stephen Fliss, and the graphic artist Nadir El-Farah. So here on the back of the box, there is a reminder that Combat Volume 2 is an add-on module, and you must own Combat 1, if you like, in order to play. There's 12 new standalone scenarios and a full campaign game, which is what's making this Volume 2 very popular. So Combat Volume 2's new features include elite enemies in the form of the SS, a third US squad and command elements enabling platoon actions with multiple players, new weapons such as the STG-44, the Thompson submachine gun, the M2 HMG and the Springfield M1903, weather variations, rain, snow, mist, as well as ground conditions like mud or snow. Fire. Now artillery and grenades can start fires. Trained medics. Unarmed but efficient. Vehicles like the Panzerkampfwagen 1VH, the M4A3 Sherman, the M3A1 half-track and trucks, and light anti-tank weapons such as the bazooka and Panzerfaust. And a campaign game, says here, allowing you to follow the fortunes of your squad from D-Day to VE Day through 6 campaign chapters. Will your squad be an efficient, well-disciplined unit, or the dirty dozen? Name your soldiers and track their skills and experience through the war. Deal with contentious relations within the squad, win medals, and form foxhole friendships. Campaign game chapters include Normandy, Pursuit, Hurtgen Forest, the Bulge, the Siegfried Line, and Germany. Not all chapters will be played. Depending on events, you may be transferred to the Ardennes and take part in the Battle of the Bulge, while in another playing, you are instead sent to the hell of the Hurtgen Forest. Campaign events include USO shows, illness, arguments within the squad, R&R in Paris, replacements, etc. You will play missions and patrols during the campaign, and each chapter has its own mission tables with 100 different missions and a patrol table with 10 different patrols. Each campaign will be unique, creating a new story each time you play. Here's some of the counters. And in the box, we've got 6 new 25 by 38 inch maps, 4 1-inch counter sheets, 3 5/8 of an inch counter sheets, 11 display mats, 1 pad each of rosters and campaign calendars, 5 player aid cards, 1 rules booklet, and 1 scenario booklet. So complexity 4.5 out of 10. Timescale, well, that's left blank. I suppose it depends on what part of the game you're doing, what timescale that uses. But the map scale is 10 yards per hex, unit scale man to man, number of players 1, suitability for solitaire, of course, 10 out of 10, and the average time to play 3 to 4 hours. Right, let's get the shrink wrap off. The shrink wrap is off, and it's 2.5 inch box that has quite a bit of weight to it. So let's open the box. So it's full up virtually to the top. What I'll do then is have a sort through, pick out the bits and show you them. So the first thing I thought I'd show you are the rules for Volume 2. Remember, this is not a standalone expansion. You will need Volume 1. It's 24 pages, full colour and glossy paper. So table of contents, what's in the box, which we've just gone through, a little introduction to Combat 2, elite enemies, new characters, new weapons, new terrain. There's the weather and ground conditions that were mentioned on the back of the box, and fire, medics, vehicles. I think there are sort of player sheets for the vehicles now. Quite a bit on that. Dropping grenades into armoured fighting vehicle hatches. Not a very friendly thing to do. So a big part of these rules look like it's the vehicles. Then the things you fight them with, the anti-tank weapons, and an example of play, which is always great to see. There we are. Them's the rules for Volume 2. Next, we'll have a look at the scenarios for Volume 2. Now, this is 28 pages. So the random events. And then scenario 11, which continues from the scenarios in Volume 1. So again, we'll have a quick look through these. But many and varied. Up to scenario 22. Great war posters there. So that's the standard scenarios for Volume 2. Next we have American 1944 to 45 European Theatre Campaign Game Rules of Play. Now this is all new to me. I haven't had a chance to give this a good look through. But let's see what this is all about. It's 48 pages. Introduction, campaign game, sequence of play, experience, skill definitions, wound recovery, fights between squad members. This looks like it's bordering on RPG. Rerolls and must reroll, merits, demerit points, foxhole buddies and adversaries, squad morale, lots in this. Minimum squad size, missions, calendar, prisoners, patrols that we're going to have to go on, event tables for those, lots in that, squad creation, training in merry old England, event tables for that, I suppose, and then in Normandy, what sort of patrol type you're doing, the weather, what sort of map to use, and the enemy quality. These are the chapters, yes. Chapter 1, Normandy. Chapter 2, Pursuit. This was on the back of the box. Hurtgen Forest. Siegfried Line and the Bulge. And into Germany. Wow, look at that. So I see this is rolls 0 to 49. Percentage rolls 50 to 99. One for Hurtgen Forest. One for the Siegfried Line, of course. The Bulge. So lots of tables in the back of the book here. And Germany. There we are. And the campaign outcome. How well you did. or didn't do. And a sample roster sheet, I think that is. There we are, lots in there. That's the campaign game rules of play. Next, 32 pages of campaign game scenarios. So I'm not over familiar with this volume, but we'll have a look at this. 32 pages, yeah. So campaign game scenario 1. So these are just the scenarios, so we'll give you a quick look through those. Using lots of maps. Scenario 2 and 3. How many we got? 6. Ambush, don't like the sound of that one. And 7. Ambushed again. Yeah, ambush. Oh, ambushing and being ambushed. There we are. Next, there's a card printed double-sided clarifications. There's some for the campaign scenarios. And the other side, we've got standalone scenario book. Some clarifications, or should have proofread that, but anyway. On a clarifications sheet and the campaign rules. Couple of game pads. We've got a roster sheet and a campaign calendar. So this, as you can see, is just a sort of normal looking calendar for June to November 44. And on the other side, I think it will say, yes, December to April 45. So a nice load of those. And the other one is the roster sheets. On the other side of that, I see this is for Charlie, and this side is for Abel. So there we are, they're the roster sheets. Lots of vehicle displays. Let's show you those quickly. Again, I'm not sure how we use these. This one is obviously a transporter of troops. M3A1 is a quarter-ton truck, 4x4. It looks like a Jeep. Here's a 2.5-ton truck. And 2 tank sheets. M4A3. One's A, one's B. Yes, they are slightly different shades. Next, we've got these. I'm not sure if they're for the Germans to use or the Americans. It does say captured vehicle report, restricted Opel Blitz. So we'll find out. This is ID A, B, and we've got C as well. Then we've got 2 player cards for the Panzer IV-H. Again, it says captured vehicle report, so I'm not sure what's going on here, but it looks very intriguing. Again, A and B. A big pile of these cards, as you're finding out. We've got the AFV hit locations card, and on the other side we've got truck hit locations on this one, truck damage results, and the other side is for half tracks. Something called the vehicle orders matrix. This is side A, and yes, side B on the other side. A weapon characteristics sheet for the new weapons in this volume. And on the other side, how successful you are with indirect fire against half-tracks, trucks and jeeps and tanks. We have a single-sided patrol display. Oh dear, completely lost. Then we've got a bifold player aid. On the inside, we've got the order terrain chart, which modifies weapon skill. And on the other side, we've got the spotting chart, which modifies troop quality. And on the right-hand side, we've got the armoured fighting vehicle line of sight display. And this depends whether or not the hatch is open or closed. We then have a shrink-wrapped block of 7 counter sheets. So wish me luck as I attempt to remove said shrink wrap to show you the counters. Mission safely accomplished with the removing of the shrink wrap. This is mentioned, of course, because as we all know, if counters are put in shrink wrap, it might mean that when we take it off, they explode and come off the sprues. But fingers crossed, we can show you these new counters. Here's counter sheet 1. Counter sheet 2. Number 3. And here's the last of the 1-inch counter sheets. Here are the new weather counters by the looks of it. There we are, and we've got now the 5/8 sheets to show you. Here's the first one. They're mainly admin and orders counters. Here's the second sheet. Oh, ill. He doesn't look too good. And here's the last one. There you go, that's your counter sheets. And last but not least, 6 new maps. So let's have a look at those. Here's the first map. I can't quite get it all on. They're a little bit bigger than standard map sizes. But this one is, you can see it up there, Into the Woods. Map 5, carrying on from the numbering in Volume 1. So apologies for the slight glare. They're quite shiny maps. And we'll have a little close-up of one once we've had a quick peruse of these. Here's number 6, The Town. Number 7, The Abbey. Number 8, The Hamlet. Number 9, Hedgerows 2. And number 10, The Ridge. Here's a close-up of the Abbey. And up a bit further we have possibly an orchard here and some trees. All looks very good. So that's the maps and everything in the box. So this has been an Open the Box, an unboxing for the expansion to Combat Volume 2. And as I said at the beginning, you can see why now this is a hefty box. Tons of stuff in there. You've got the standalone scenarios as well as the campaigns. They're not cheap games, but as you hopefully can see, there's a ton of gameplay in these boxes. Well, I hope you enjoyed that and found it interesting. If you did, and you haven't done so already, why not have a think about subscribing to the old channel? Really does help. Pushing the like button, the thumbs up, underneath the video helps tremendously as well. And if you want to be informed of other content the channel uploads, then push the bell. Make sure, though, you push all notifications so you can be kept up to date with what's going on with the channel. Leave a comment. As I said earlier, not a cheap couple of games, but a ton of content. But what do you think? Let me know, because I love to read them. Thanks as always to my subscribers. Thank you so much. And just before I go, quickly, if you wish to support the channel a little bit further, well, you can. You can buy the channel a coffee, and a link for that is in the description. Or if you wish, you can push the super thanks button underneath the video. Either of which, if you decide to do that, just helps it to keep ticking along. So thank you. Right then, we have some clipping afoot, so I'd better get on with that. So until the next video, as always, you take care and goodbye.